this was our previous example. You see the value of the interest rate and the time period. We didn't divide them by something known as what, as the compounding period, and we didn't multiply these by compounding period. The n, we didn't multiply it by compounding period. I hope it makes sense. But now we're going to actually show you other things that are very important for you to know. Those things are known as compounding period, meaning they affect the interest rates as well as the time period. And I hope it makes sense. We have period known as compounding periods. So when we talk about compounding periods, we are talking about I'm looking for actually an easier way that I can actually give, then it becomes a definition of compounding periods, or I can say different periods, but you're going to see what I'm talking about exactly. Okay, so we have annually, or sometimes they can say yearly, so it's one. Then quarterly, make sure that you write these things. Quarterly is 4. Then we have monthly. Monthly, how many months do we have in a year? 12. Then weekly, how many weeks do we have in a year? Around 52. Then days, how many days do we have in a year? You probably know this. 365. Yes. And I forgot the semi-annually or the biannually. So it's very important for you to know these, and that they affect the interest rates as well as the time period. Okay, so these compounding periods only affects the interest rate and the time period. So you divide that percentage that you'll be given on the statement. Now, since it will now be in a decimal, you will divide it by the compounding period. I hope it makes sense. For an example, let's say we have the 13%. You have to divide it by 100 first. Then you will have the decimal. Then that decimal we divide it by the compounding period. Then when it comes to the time period, you multiply it by the compounding period. So it affects the interest rate as well as the time period. I hope that makes sense. It's very, very important that you note this information or this knowledge. Okay. Let's say now David invests. Remember, the money that you invest is the money that you have. So it's the value of P. Whatever amount that David is investing, it's his money, the value of P. Since he is investing 50,000, so the 50,000 is the value of P at 8% per annum compound interest. Then the question is, what will his money grow to? You see, the future money. So that future money is the value of A. Grow to in 5 years if interest is compounded. These are compounding periods. Compounded quarterly. How many quarters do we have in a year? We have 4. And you must know that those quarters are going to, those compounding period are going to affect the interest rate as well as the time period. So you write down all your data. Do we have the value of N? Yes, we do have, which is 5 years. Then the interest rate, we are given, which is 8%. Then the value of P is the money that David is investing. So David is so smart. He wants to gain interest, doesn't want to pay more, but he wants to gain. It's like now the financial institution or that company borrows money from David, then they pay him extra. Meaning the value of A is the one that we actually will be asked to calculate. As they say, what will his money grow to in 5 years? So it is the accumulated money or accumulated amount or the future value. So we have to calculate the value of A. Then we are also given what the compounding period quarterly. So our CP here becomes what? 4. By the way, CP it's what? Compounding period. I try to abbreviate it so that we don't waste time. So A equals P into 1 plus interest rate to the power n. We do have the 50,000 right here as the value of P. Then 1 plus, you see our interest rate, we must actually divide it by 1,000. Therefore, interest rate, not 1,000 but 100, sorry. So it's going to be 0.08. So this is the value of the interest rate that we must substitute on the formula over the compounding period. Then we multiply it with the 5 years. Remember, it affects only the interest rate as well as the time period. So what is the answer here? So the answer is going to be 74,297.37. And the most important thing here is that in finance, you do not what is it I wanted to say? I've forgotten what I wanted to say. But you don't round off before the last step, or you only round off when you are on the last step. I hope it makes sense. So the compounding period only affects the interest rates and the n.